Okay, so I'm going to teach you the intro and interlude piece, the electric lead piece for Second Chances, or Second Chance by Rend Collective. And I'm doing it in the key of C, which is how our church does it. I think that's the original is in the key of D, so it's just one step or two frets difference. So if you're playing with the original, scoot it up two for practice, and then slide it back down to for church maybe. But it's that piece that sounds like this. Oh, sorry. So it's that kind of piece. All that sliding and stuff, that's probably the way that I would play at kind of the next level, or I think it sounds a little bit more like the original recording, with especially that kind of sliding. But I'm going to teach you an easier way that's more natural to scales, so that you can kind of stay closer in one place and not worry about, because I think finding those frets that quick takes a lot of practice. But I'll teach you that way at the end in case you wanted to try to advance to the next level and get that sound. But the gist of it is you're gonna find that would be the 9th fret with your ring finger, and then take your middle finger and then slide down, keeping the same one. That's what I recommend. So that you have this one free, index finger for the D string on the 7th fret. So far it's, and I would say 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the first piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then keeping that there, finding the next spot, which is this one here on the 10th fret with your pinky on the E string, and then sliding down using that. That would be the 8th fret. So that's on the 5th fret on the G string. 2, 3, 4. So E string on the 5th fret. And then that's probably the hardest, so you can switch up your finger. Honestly, the way I play it is that lower note on the G string there, I'll hold it flat, so that's when it's time to play that higher note, I just play kind of like this section of my finger to play that E string. That's kind of a trick. It's probably the most natural, but if you wanted to use your middle finger and then reach your pinky. And then on the B string, on that 5th fret. And then ring finger on the 7th. So that's all really fast. I'll play it through so you can kind of hear what it sounds like with this. And that's what we're going for. So just to re-emphasize, all the different places it finds. 1, 2, 3, 4 on the G string on the 9th, and then 2 with your middle finger on the 8th on the E string, and then going down to the 7th fret on that same string, another 2, taking your index finger, placing on the G string at the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 on this higher note with your pinky on the 10th fret of the E string, and using the same finger 2 frets down. G string with your index finger on the 5th fret, and then, or, so this is the B string with your pinky on the 8th fret, and then with your index finger on the 5th fret. So I'm going to play a loop. So these are the verse chords, and in the interlude just after the chorus, as well as the beginning of the song, and it's going to sound like this. See, if I wanted to repeat it, I use that same finger and just bringing it up to start where we began. And I like to strike harder for the lead part. So you can kind of strike a little harder for that piece is played right at the end of the chorus as your interlude, heading back into verse 2 or verse 3, and it's really fun to strike it there, but then during the verse playing it quietly. And if you wanted to learn the other fingering, which I play all on the B string, just with all that fancy sliding stuff and just switching the frets, you find the 5th string is your starting point. And just listen for the same melody line, essentially. And then for the choruses, I would switch to playing full chords. And maybe the first chorus is soft, you know. But then maybe the next time you. But then being able to switch into. And if you get to the next level of being advanced, you can do the faster picking. So I'm doing only half of what they're doing in terms of the repetitions. So I've made it a little simpler. I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if you learn your back and forth strumming, it's like. So hitting both directions, you'll be able to match their sound, which is twice the frequency. So it's more like a. And that's another reason to prefer the single string, because it's easier to do that, but you can do the same. And that takes practice switching strings as you're going back and forth. So whichever fits best for you, but I'd say the simplest way as a beginner is to do that. So that's what I recommend. So enjoy, practice.